So here we go. The CM Punk promo is now playing, and we're watching it in real time, and I'm going to pause it and break it down. All right. He says, it looks like hell froze over. Saif with the $10 dono. Thank you so much. In the middle of this segment, bro, you're goated. Shout out to my boy Saif. So he said, it looks like hell froze over. What is he talking about exactly? He is actually referring to the tweet that Triple H posted Saturday night when he put out a picture of him pointing at CM Punk and CM Punk pointing back at him. At the end of the day, we were never supposed to get CM Punk in a WWE ring ever. By the way, look at Saif walking down the ramp like the people's champ. Salute to you, my boy, with the $10-roo. So, it looks like hell froze over. The fact that he's standing in the middle of the ring. Look at him. Like, dude, CM Punk on Monday Night Raw. And that's really the starting point, right? That on its own is, it's a magical moment. This was never the intention. This was never the intention at all. This is me standing in a WWE ring on Monday Night Raw with a live microphone in my hand. So then he goes and drops, you know, the whole NHL stuff because he's a big Blackhawks fan and he's getting the little reaction from the crowd. So, guys, don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more wrestling content. Sorry, I had to plug it in. But yeah, look, he talks about, I gotta be me. And he says, I gotta be me. And lately, I've been feeling a little more like myself. Okay? Why would he say that? Well, he obviously didn't feel like himself in AEW. He obviously got fired from AEW. He lost sight of things and got clouded and went in and had issues with so many people backstage and stood up for himself. Could have gone about it in a different way for sure, but at the end of the day, he lost himself. And he went on to say that he's been feeling a lot more like himself since Saturday. So I think he's being honest here that since Saturday, he's been trying to come up with the words and the language to describe his emotions and explain to everyone how he's feeling about it. That's obvious. This is nursery rhyming 101. This is basic promos 101. 2 words. 2 words. And the 2 words were what, guys? If you remember the promo, I'm going to tell you without even seeing it. I have it paused right here so you guys see I'm not lying. The 2 words that he said were that he's changed and that he's home. He's changed because he knows better. What do you mean he's changed? He just got fired. What do you mean he's home? Guys, his intention behind mentioning that he's changed is literally him understanding that as much as he didn't want to be in WWE, as much as he hated WWE for everything that transpired that led to him leaving and joining AEW 7 or 8 years later, he realized while being in AEW that he is a big deal, like a John Cena, like an Undertaker. Lex, what do you mean? That's what I take away from it. You know why he realized this? Because he was working in an unprofessional environment, right? Where he wasn't respected And this is a guy who has literally done it all in the wrestling world, in the indies, for $5, $10, $20 a night, to the big time at WrestleMania, to holding multiple WWE titles, to main eventing multiple pay-per-views, and being the poster child on many shows. He is a legend and commands that respect, yet backstage in AEW, they didn't give it to him. Why? Because he's a legend in WWE, not AEW. So not everyone in AEW had to play his game. Not everyone in AEW had to ultimately like CM Punk. You get what I'm saying here? And he realized that. He realized that at the end of the day, being a pro, being a businessman, that mindset can work for him and give him another chance at being not in AEW, but WWE. It took him being in AEW for him to change, for him to get to this moment in time. And keep in mind, folks, let me add this to this breakdown segment. CM Punk was anti-WWE even while being in WWE. He was always fighting the system, which is what made him who he became. He went to AEW and he was still fighting that ghost. He was still bitter and bashing, and he was happy to be in AEW. He was happy trying to dethrone WWE from whatever goal they had in mind. He wanted to upstage as much as he could within AEW. He wanted to make some noise. He wanted to help AEW achieve the unachievable. So listen to this part that I'm about to say. Listen to what I'm lining up here. How the hell is a guy that was so anti-WWE, that was so anti-Vince McMahon, that was so anti-everything in the WWE format, and wanting to see WWE fail, flip, and flop, how is that same guy standing in a Monday Night Raw arena saying he's home? How is that same guy standing in the ring saying that he's changed? Listen to what he's saying. That turned this 5-minute promo and took it to the next level. For CM Punk, Phil Brooks, out of all people in the world, to go out there on live TV and admit that he's changed and he's home while being in a WWE ring, that is mind-blowing all on its own. Just him saying those two things, that is more than enough. How much more do you need for them to spoon feed you? I get that Monday Night Raw is a little long. It's 3 hours. We waited 3 hours just to hear CM Punk say, I've changed and I'm home. I get that part. You could be disappointed that it was a little too short. I never said you couldn't feel disappointed with the length, but to say that it was a bad promo, to say that there was no context, to say that there was no direction, you're wrong. Straight up. Whether you love or hate CM Punk, you're wrong. That is your opinion. The fact of the matter is this: there was plenty of shots taken here and references to guys like Paul Heyman, guys like Dusty Rhodes. Just him showing up, Carter, exactly. Just him showing up. So let's get back to this. At this particular moment in the promo, he's mentioning how there's two words that he would use to describe how he feels since Saturday, and it's I've changed, and obviously he's home. So let's hear him out. He even said that he was a little bit scared of how real, how this is like an actual feeling. He said, I'm a little bit scared. That's Phil Brooks talking. That's him being genuine. I'm a little bit scared about how I feel. Imagine CM Punk going out there and admitting that shit. Imagine. And he also admitted it's a little bit corny. It's a little bit cheesy. He's very well aware that not everyone in the wrestling world is going to take this promo as the CM Punk that we want to see. So he's already admitting it. It's not going to sound like CM Punk, but I've changed. Once upon a time, an American Dream taught me. Listen, an American Dream, that's Dusty Rhodes. Does he need to mention Dusty Rhodes by name for you to know that he's the American Dream? As long as you speak from the heart, you can't go wrong because it's the truth. He said, and this is the truth. I'm home. Holy crap. CM Punk looking at the camera. Look at this shot right here. Looking at the camera and admitting to the world, out of all places in WWE, CM Punk admits he's home. Holy hell. Holy hell, he's home. That is... And at that point, let me see where I'm at. I'm 3 minutes and 31 seconds into this 8-minute segment. 8 minutes and 21 seconds. This is the entire segment on WWE's YouTube page. Just look at the context behind everything he has mentioned. He's acknowledging his past. He's acknowledging his mistakes. He's acknowledging, how unsure he was about all of this. This is a very human CM Punk. This is crazy to me. So let's listen on. He lets the crowd soak it in. Everyone is going crazy. He's letting everyone kind of sit there with those words. And he's still soaking it in, man. He's just there standing, soaking it in. And everybody's saying, welcome back. CM Punk. I've come back to this familiar place. I didn't know how. He said, I came back to this familiar place. I didn't know how I would react, and I didn't know how it would go. He said, this has made me feel like my old self, because this is where I belong. This is the image right here. I pause it when he says, this is where I belong. And he stares straight into the camera, straight into the audience at home. For a long time, CM Punk said he didn't belong in WWE. For a long time, CM Punk, bashed and trashed and said so many things that pissed off a lot of people. That's why this is such a monumental moment. Because everything that he said and everything he hated is ultimately everything he became. In a lot of ways, like I said earlier in this video, in this segment, in this stream, he became the franchise player. He became the brand. He wasn't just the voice of the voiceless. Lex, with Punk being in WWE, could help take it up a corner and to a higher level? Of course. Nate is just hating. I'm just letting Nate go off. He could let it all out. It's okay. The crowd is... This is home. I've been gone for 10 years. I've been gone for 10 years and you people never forgot me, even when I wanted to forget me. And look at him staring into the crowd. Right there, overlooking his time in AEW, the last few years in AEW, and directly speaking to the WWE Universe. And this is exactly why I said what I said in my tweet. You got to understand that the average fan that watches WWE, say what you want, say that they don't know pro wrestling, say that doesn't matter, bro. Doesn't matter what you have to say about it, but truth of the matter is this. A lot of the WWE audience, they're either unaware about AEW, they don't know who's in AEW, and they don't care. They don't care. As big as... Look at how massive CM Punk's return to WWE was. Over 71 million views across the WWE channels on social media, and it was the most social moment in wrestling history. Why wasn't that the case when he jumped into AEW? Because the reach was just not there. So all those people and everyone around the globe that tuned in, that heard, that saw CM Punk's return, right? A lot of those people are unaware about AEW. So him referencing AEW, it just wouldn't make much sense for that to be his go-to and his return promo. So let's move on here. Let's move on to the next bit. That's powerful. You are all powerful. He's giving the fans the cheesy, pondering shit. A bunch of continents, countless countries. He's obviously referencing their Wembley, right? Because he went overseas and wrestled in London and the crowd went crazy. All right. This is him, you know, turning up on the energy here, turning it up a notch. Arenas all over the world. People watching at home, people in the building. Never stop chanting my name. Boom. The crowd goes, CM Punk, CM Punk. Crowd loving it, everyone eating it up. Obviously, he's pandering and going crazy, but he did that in AEW. We knew that if he was going to be the good guy, that was the first order of business. That was the first thing he was going to have to do. That was some of the first things he was going to have to mention. Come on, he just had to. The voiceless found their voice. I couldn't be more proud of you. I heard you. That's why I'm back, because I love you guys. He's admitting it. He's admitting it. He said, I missed you guys, and I wish I had never left. He said, I wish I could say that I never had to leave. Once upon a time, a wise man told me, in order for you to get everything you need out of this place, you have to leave and come back. Who's he talking about there? Paul Heyman, obviously. He's talking about Paul Heyman. In order for him to get everything, he needed to leave and come back. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. He didn't want to be there. It's not good to work in a place you don't want to be at. That's just the truth. That's just the truth. For him to come to terms, for him to realize, for him to change, all these things needed to ultimately happen. And he's learned from it, bro. That's the context. You guys could say his promo was mid, mild, whatever you want, just because it was a 5-minute, like I mentioned before, it's a little bit of Phil and a little bit of CM Punk sprinkled in there, and me writing the fans and all that. Cheesy, corny. He admitted to that already. You're not saying anything he didn't know. You're not saying anything he didn't expect from you guys. He already knew, the hardcore audience was gonna say some shit like that. He didn't bury anyone. Yeah, that's because you need everything spoon-fed for you to see that. And we're going to get to that point in just a second here. So let's move on. Hate to say the wise man was right. Owning up to Paul Heyman. Hold on. Let me back up there. Hate to say the wise man was right. That's why I'm back to get everything I need out of this place. I'm back for you because you are home. So what is he saying there? What is he admitting to the fans? It's not just that WWE is home and he's a WWE lifer and he's just a cornball. Guys, When he's talking about home, he's talking about ultimately being with the fans, being able to connect with the fans, being able to ultimately be there live in person. That's what this promo was all about. Acknowledgement. Acknowledgement. He's acknowledging everything here. What else did you want from him in his first promo back? He needed to reintroduce himself.
He didn't attack AEW.
All right. So the crowd is loving it, obviously. Saturday night was an amazing moment. Monday night is an amazing moment. Trying to have the words to explain how it feels. It's been nothing but love in front and behind the camera. Feels like a family reunion. Everyone back there is happy to see me. It's all smiles. A few people kiss me on the mouth. Welcome back. Welcome home. We've missed you. We're happy to see you. How's AJ? I'm here to tell you, AJ is fabulous and she sends her regards. A little name drop. So you get a little Easter egg there. Talking about how everyone has welcomed him back. And he's obviously then leading up to the Seth Rollins stuff and whoever else has a problem with CM Punk being back. So he gives you the little Easter egg. He name drops AJ, which everyone has been like clamoring for. Everyone has been dying to hear about her. He mentions her. Again, guys, this is a reintroduction into the WWE system. Obviously, people know who he is. Obviously, they were in Chicago. They're now in Tennessee. These are wrestling towns. For sure, people are aware, that this is CM Punk. I'm not saying that people are blind to the fact that this guy is a wrestling legend, but his whereabouts, AEW, all that stuff, not so much. Welcoming me back with open arms. So and he smiles. Well, almost everybody. Ain't that some shit? Some people are afraid. And this is where he's talking about everyone else, by the way. You guys wanted him to address the drama. You guys wanted him to feed into the moment. You guys wanted him to talk about all that shit. Well, here he is. Not everyone. Some people are afraid. They're afraid of the truth. They're afraid of what they don't understand, but I understand. Everything I've ever wanted has always been here. The competition is here. Week in and week out. People here compete to be the best in the world. But the best in the world hasn't been here for almost 10 years. And then he stares at the mic. So again, generalizing the unhappy people, generalizing the people backstage, and then talking about him being the best, bringing in everyone into the fold. I understand being afraid. They're afraid that I just set the bar to an unattainable level. They're afraid that I got the brass ring is in my back pocket. Imagine, guys. Hold on, because I see the comment. You guys keep talking about JD is great. JD is a shitty YouTuber. I'm not going to disrespect JD. Respect to any wrestling content creator out there. Everyone doing this. You guys name drop him here all the time. Respect, at the end of the day, if that's his take, that's his take. I've said whatever I've said before. It is what it is. I don't care about that. We're covering the segment here. Listen to what I'm talking about. Give feedback based on what we're talking about here. Name dropping another person's opinion doesn't make you better, smarter, or anything like that. You just sound ridiculous, all right? We're here talking about the promo, and you're just meat writing other YouTubers. Let's talk about CM Punk and our point of view on how we feel about it, not someone else's point of view. You don't have to come in here and spread some freaking point of view from someone else's mindset. Speak your own truth. So here he goes, talking about the brass ring being in his back pocket. Obviously, that's a Vince McMahon reference. Obviously, that's a Cody Rhodes reference. Obviously, that has been talked about plenty in AEW. There's actually a ladder match in AEW with a giant brass ring, poking fun at the whole idea. And he's talking about him having it in the back pocket. They can't grab it. They're afraid that the most dangerous and controversial feared man in this hold on, let me pause it. They're afraid that the most controversial and feared man in this industry has just walked in through the front door at that. And there's nothing that they can do about it. Stairs. He said some people are just afraid that they're going to have to wake up tomorrow morning realizing that their best efforts at being the best in the world in this ring, on this mic, in the commentary. Then he goes and drops the microphone in the commentary. Isn't just false, but it's a lie. The best in the world is back. The best in the world is standing in the middle of the ring, live in living color on Monday night. His name is CM Punk. Look at that. Look at what he says. I'm back. I'm back. I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make money. And then does the little victory lap. He did the victory lap mocking the Young Bucks, mocking AEW, having the last laugh. Come on, what more do you want? What more do you want from the guy? In his return promo, this is a guy who's been gone for a decade. He dropped just enough references historically, right? The Dusty stuff like I mentioned earlier, the Paul Heyman stuff like I mentioned earlier. He drops how some people are not happy to see him. He talked about he's the best in the world, not just WWE. At the end of the day, man, say whatever you want.
Oh, it's a WWE stooge promo. It's a WWE scripted promo. Oh, this is bad. He's being restrained. PG Punk.
Guys, Royal Rumble isn't till late January. We're still in November. Today is November 28th. Monday Night Raw was the 27th. We still have a couple days left in November. We still have all of December and majority of January before the next pay-per-view, before the big pay-per-view known as Royal Rumble. Why are they going to give CM Punk a live microphone for 30 minutes when they could give you just enough and leave you wanting more? When Bray Wyatt came back, rest in peace, the late, great Bray Wyatt. His promo felt a little directionless, but it wasn't a whole lot of context either. And CM Punk, referring to WWE as home, they knew what they were doing with that. They knew that this would be another conversation starter, and Triple H said it at the press conference. The thing about CM Punk is that whether you love him or hate him, he's a conversation starter. This guy is on his final run in pro wrestling. If you love CM Punk, enjoy it. If you hate him, well, strap up because you're going to get a lot more of him. So earlier in the night, Seth Rollins addressed the CM Punk stuff lightly. They both planted their seeds. CM Punk and Seth Rollins did their job. Seth Rollins is worrying about Jey Uso next week on Raw and Drew McIntyre in the horizon as well again. And CM Punk might come after that. And we'll see where it goes. But all I can say is this. There was a lot to unpack from that 5-minute segment. To say that it was garbage, to say that it was scripted nonsense, to say that it was PG Punk is just hilarious. You're being a hypocrite. A lot of his promos in AEW was a lot of the same shit too. And people were writing it. When CM Punk finally locks in on a target, that's when he'll be at his best. His best is yet to come. He reestablished his character. He reestablished himself in the WWE universe. And this is a taste of things to come. If you don't like it, you don't like it. Cool. But he ain't going nowhere. Money's looking good. And if you wanted your AEW shot, he did the victory lap. He said, I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make money. What else do you want? Hit me up in the comments. I know you guys are livid, but I had to do a breakdown and share my views. There's a lot more to unpack than you guys are making it seem. You're acting like he just came out there, said, I'm home, and dipped. And let's be honest. Monday Night Raw was pretty good with all the other action they had going on. A lot of people were crying about Randy Orton getting overshadowed. Now they're crying about CM Punk not getting enough time. What's it going to be, bro? Pick a side.